Good morning. Let me know if you can hear me. I was having a little bit of some technical difficulty stuff going on earlier, so letting me know that you guys are actually getting me will help. Hi, I'm Belinda with Just Be Yoga, and we're here Thursday, July 16, ready for our personal yoga practice with our home yoga practice live. I'm deeply grateful to be able to share practice with you. Just Be Yoga is a donation-based yoga community outreach that we started 10 years ago. It's hard to believe that we're actually still here, and it's because of you. It's because of all of your support. It's because you keep coming back. It's because you contribute or you share the word about us with people who do actually contribute and help keep everything going. And I just really wanted to start off this morning with a deep bow of gratitude. Great. Thank you, Ansel. A deep bow of gratitude for community, for your acceptance of what we want to share and what I've been able to share. Your support has helped me grow as a teacher, as a yogi, as a Tai Chi player, as a community member, right? All of your contribution showing up, whether I'm not talking about just contribution about Monday, but contribution in how you show up has helped me learn how to show up and be a better person. So I'm deeply grateful for you guys joining for this journey called yoga and connection. That's what it's all about. So this week, our home yoga practice has been on saucha, or purity or cleanliness, or elimination. So however you want to chew on that, maybe reflect for a moment on your plan. If you're new to joining us and you don't know what I mean by your plan, please go and check out on justbeyoga.com on our blog. We've been doing a more structured version of home yoga practice for the last 4 weeks, and I'm really enjoying how it's developing. Please do give us some feedback, but there on the very first one, you'll learn about how to make a plan, setting up like what it is you want to work on. What are you practicing? How much time you want to commit to it? What you get to observe as you do it over and over and over again, and how do you get guidance and a teacher. All right, so we're going to start this morning however you'd like to be. I really mean that. So if you'd like to be lying down, go ahead and lie down. If you prefer to start sitting with your legs extended out in front of you, maybe sitting up on a big cushion or pillow, start to make that the first part of your journey, saying, okay, check in with what feels right. What is it I need to be practicing? When I say what feels right too, I realize sometimes that could mean, oh, just lean for the comfy cozy. No, in our yoga, we're still holding ourselves accountable to practicing, right? We're not just here for a lounge experience. You can lounge when it's time for lounging. We're here for actual practicing. So choose how you need to be sitting that conducts your energy in a clear and direct manner. So that might be just lifting the chest upright, maybe have your back against the wall. And we'll start our practice, or I will suggest for myself how I want to start today, is just in a calm sit. Literally, just turning everything off and tuning in, not tuning out. And with each breath, accept the state of our bodies as they are. With each breath, come into the truth of this moment, not the last one, not our anticipation of the next one. Your eyes can be open or closed. You could always direct your attention to your senses. If you start to be wondering, what should I be doing? What should I be doing? then just say, okay, I'll be with hearing for a moment. What all can I hear? How far away? How close? Not identifying the object, but feeling the sense of hearing itself. And then cycle through your other senses. Observe your breath. Feel it and practice breathing. Practice breathing. Occupy your breath with your awareness. Now practice being in your mind. Whatever that means to you, feel yourself receiving that suggestion. Occupy the activity of your mind. Where are you? What is your mind doing? What thoughts are true? What thoughts are not true in this moment? Okay. As you all know, we've been working on different ways of connecting with purity or saucha. Saucha is an element of our niyamas. Before we get started today, I just wanted to give a little review of the 8 limbs of yoga. What are we practicing when we're practicing yoga? What do I mean by those 8 limbs? Now, I did go ahead and write it in Sanskrit, but I'm going to talk to you guys in English because that's the language I speak on a regular basis. All right, so yamas. Yamas means our social behavior, our behavior outwardly. Niyamas are internal behaviors, how we treat ourselves inside of ourselves. There are 5 of each of those. Asana, how we treat our bodies or how we occupy our bodies, aka yoga poses. Pranayama, how we treat our breath, how we occupy our breath, aka breath exercises. Pratyahara, and that's sense withdrawal, how we occupy living in our senses. Absorb that for a moment because we're really driven heavily by our senses. Our taste then dictates what we're eating, not really our nourishment and our needs. We see it, we want it, right? Whatever's pleasing to our eye, what's pleasing to our ears, how much assault do we put in these sensory perceivers? And my sensory perceivers are in overload. I don't know about you all through this pandemic, being so connected with so much electronics, I can feel the overstimulation and it drives my nervous system a little cuckoo. All right, dharana, which means concentration or focus, or if I continue to put it in the kind of context, how we occupy our focus and our concentration. Dhyana, which means meditation, again, how we occupy meditation. How much time have we spent in meditation? And then samadhi, bringing it all together in a unification, right? Fully bound together in a peaceful way. If we think about all 8 limbs and say, how much have I practiced all of my yoga, or have I picked and chosen various pieces? This isn't meant to do any kind of shaming, but to broaden our awareness that if we are practicing, try to bring your mind into all of those limbs when you're making your practice plan. All right. Let's not make it all about the body. We're creating a healthy space in the body to better facilitate our healthy space in our mind. We're facilitating a better space in our behavior for a better space in how we occupy our breath and our spirit, our focus and our concentration. And then they lend and participate with one another, right? I can use my focus to help me stay focused on some of my niyamas and my yamas, how I treat others and how I treat myself. So they bind together, yoking. It's a wonderful little system. All right, today, Thursday, is our day of exploring new edges. With that, our senses are something we rely upon. So today, as a new edge, and I'm really going to see how it comes across on the computer screen as a virtual experience. I think it should be fairly easy, but I'm not on the receiving end for you guys. Excuse me. So, removing a sense as we practice today to purify our awareness of that sensibility. So I am going to encourage to see if you can practice today with your eyes closed and just listen. Listen and move, taking your time so as to still have your balance and stability. Maybe even take a moment right now and notice your reaction to receiving those words. Much of yoga is about perception, action, and reaction. How are we perceiving what you just received as you heard it? What did it make your mind start to imagine? What obstacle already came up automatically in your mind, like, oh no, or, ooh, yay. Either way, let's try not to go to any extreme. Certainly, if you need to open your eyes now and again, that's fine. Observe. Remember, out of our practice plan, we make the plan, we set an amount of time, and we observe as we're practicing. We observe what's going on. With that, I've already got my eyes closed. Let's make our way to our hands and our knees. Like I said, do feel free to open your eyes now and again. Maybe if you've got a question, go ahead and write a comment. I will as well open my eyes now and again. Once you've made your way to hands and knees, maybe feel the edges of your mat so that you can know where you are. Are you in the middle of your mat? Are you toward the back of your mat? Did you already check that before you closed your eyes? And then I'll invite us to make our way to child's pose, sinking our hips back toward our heels. So what does eyes closed have to do with saucha? Purity or cleanliness. We're removing our dependence on our sight and the projections that we put on our sight, cleaning the palette of how we see, bringing our gaze within, unobscuring our vision in many ways. Feel your breath. Hear my words. Notice how eyes closed connects to amplifying hearing. Let's gradually come forward to hands and knees, feeling your weight shift. Maybe lean your chest forward over your hands and feel that. And we'll shift back and forth a little. Just starting to familiarize our sensory experience. Noticing what amplifies. Is your sense of touch a little bit more amplified? Maybe that sense of hearing. Anything else? Is it affecting taste, touch, smell? Well, let's lengthen the right leg straight back behind us, lifting it off the ground, extending it long. How are you experiencing your body with the eyes closed here? Maybe shift your weight into the left arm and right arm a little. Awakening our proprioception, where we are in space and time. How much does that change when we take external vision out? We'll bring the right knee down and lengthen the left leg back. Extend. Notice if you took your time. Did you rush? Are we more careful? More mindful? Soften your jaw. What starts to tense when we take one sense away? Then step the left foot up toward the top of the mat and feel your body and your mind navigating that. Right hand down to the floor beneath our face, twisting our chest open. So if you're just joining, we're practicing our home yoga practice live today, listening and practicing as best we can with our eyes closed if we feel safe to do so. Breath in. Breath out. Now, if you'd like here, we talked about bandhas for the last few days. Maybe squeeze the Mula Bandha, engaging it. And that's a sphincter hold if anyone is new here. Don't try to do the solar plexus because in the twist, we can't tighten there. Breath. We'll bring that left hand down, step the left knee back. See if you can try to position your palms shoulder width apart without seeing them. How do we know what we're doing? How do we know distance when our eyes are closed? What are we trusting? What are we willing to let go of in terms of perfecting? Tucking the toes under and see if we feel okay with lifting the hips up for downward facing dog. So we've got to press down firm in the arms for support, in the legs for support, allowing the butt to lift, letting the head go down. Notice any urges. Are you having an urge to open the eyes? Can you soften your eyelids? Maybe pedal your heels up and down. Saucha. And Pratyahara. Remember that limb of yoga we talked about. Sense withdrawal. Tilting the tailbone up and down, noticing what we're feeling in our hips, our groin, our low back, backs of the hamstrings. And then gently lowering the knees down. Feel the core, feel your back muscles, feel the arm support to softly bring those knees down. And we'll step the right foot up toward the top of the mat. Notice, what did you notice about lifting that? Did you have to hold your breath when you did so? How connected are we being to our being? Can you gauge whether that knee is over the heel with your eyes closed here? How do you know where your body is in space and time without sight? Left hand down beneath the face. I just noticed a slight wobble because I lost a little balance. I was rushing. Press down through that left arm, revolving the chest open. Breathe. Listen. Maybe scan your way through all of your senses. What feels free? What feels strained? Maybe engage in your bandha, your root bandha. How does that assist you in your twist? What does it help you conduct or direct in terms of energy? Both hands down to the floor. Feel the palms connected to the earth. Engage the arms for support. Stepping that right knee back. When you're ready, when the palms are secure, when the legs are secure, lifting the hips up, dropping the head down for downward facing dog. Maybe change something about the down dog here. You could step the legs wider, more narrow, but just change the experience. Try not to get into same old, same old. We want to experience this moment, the purity and the wholeness and the truth of this moment, this very transient moment, because it's already gone, right? We're 20 moments already into the future because the future is now. Breathe. Soften your shoulders. What part of your physical existence could you bring your attention to and absorb, observe through your direct awareness? And then notice what was your perception about it that's not quite correct. What's changing about your observation of the now? All right, we'll bring the knees down. Step whatever leg up toward the top of the mat that you wish. We're going to step the other leg up. Take your time. Feel yourselves moving on your mat without eyesight, inner vision only. Feel it out. Are your feet even? Try not to use your hands to even gauge that, right? We could kind of cheat. We could touch our toes and kind of measure. Are they close? Notice the tools, though, that we would normally use. Breathe in and lift the chest upright, making it parallel with the floor, whatever that means for you. Especially if you're just taking this information in with your ears and you've never, ever, ever practiced with us before. Exhale, allow the upper body to hang over those legs. Your knees could be soft or straight. What are we experiencing? How does taking that eyesight out help us experience a more pure moment? A more pure and true moment, Saucha. Slowly round the spine up. Notice how our sense of balance is greatly impacted by our eyesight and our hearing. Standing upright in mountain. Notice the swaying. Notice your senses around your head, around your forehead. When you're ready, breathe in and lengthen the arms up, stretch the body upward. Exhale, forward, fold, letting the upper body go. Breathe in, lift the chest upright to a half flat spine. Planting the palms, stepping back to plank. We've got to trust that when we extend those legs back, there's a floor back there, there's a mat back there. Breathe in. Exhale, lower yourselves down to your bellies. Do you trust that you can lower yourself down, that you won't knock your face into something? I noticed the need to kind of peek there, even though I knew that there was nothing in the way, right? There's the self-preservation kicks in. Breathe in, lift the chest gently, elbows remaining bent, cobra. What happened to our breath? Do we want this to be over, or are we absorbing what's going on in the body, the breath, the mind? Exhale, come to down dog or tabletop, whatever feels good for you. Deep breath. Take your time as you navigate, stepping your feet up to the top of your mat. Breath in, lift the chest halfway. Forward fold, let the upper body go. Roll the spine up, lifting your head last. How has that experience changed? We've done this before with our eyesight. What was different? What are we aware of about how we carry ourselves? Left side, right side. Where do we strain? Where do we breathe? Where do we not? One more time, breathing in, lengthening upward. Lengthen from somewhere new in your body. Exhale, forward, fold, release when you're ready. Let something else go in your body. Half flat back. Feel your left side, right side, front of the chest, back of the chest. Palms down, stepping to plank. Choose your plank. It could be hands and knees plank or extended. As slowly as we can, lower down to your bellies, coming through chaturanga. Breath. Inhale. Lift the chest, cobra. Elbows remaining bent. Don't squeeze the butt. Neck is neutral. What's going on? Left side, right side. What's forcing? What's releasing? Downward facing dog. Ha. We'll bring the left knee down, step the right foot up. Maybe use a block to steady yourselves or to hold on to, tucking the back toes, straightening the back leg for a runner's lunge, a deep, long lunge here. Right leg is bent, right knee over heel, extending that left leg back, lengthening the belly and the chest forward, sinking in the hips. Now you can stay here, or, this is going to have a degree of difficulty, so we have to work on being patient. Choose stability first. Hands to the knees with those eyes closed. Maybe coming upright to standing in a Crescent Warrior. What are we experiencing differently? What do we not notice when we're in this with our eyes open that we're noticing right now? Breath. What's the truth of this moment? Gradually bringing those hands down, feel your way. Where is the earth? Draw that confidence and stability from the earth. Bringing that left knee down. Stepping that right knee back. Trading it out, we'll step that left foot up. If you're just joining for our home yoga practice live, we're working on practicing with our eyes closed, so just trying to listen. So if you're wishing to join here, we're going to tuck the back toes, straighten the back leg. Left knee is over the heel or ankle. Maybe your hands are supported on a block. How do we hear and experience our hips and our legs differently with our eyes closed? How does our sense of stability change and security change with our eyes closed? Now you can stay here. If you're wanting to play, honor this side. This side's a different side. Maybe bring both hands to your knee, walking your way upright. Maybe you don't even want to use that support. Maybe you want to try to come up without leaning your arms or your chest on any space. Maybe you eventually reach your arms up with your eyes closed. Where are you in your body? Are you in your left leg, your right leg, your hips? Are we practicing a non-harming thought, a truthfulness? Inviting the purity of the truth of this moment. Practicing that breath. We'll gradually bring the hands down to the floor. Take your time. Feel your way. Right knee coming down. Stepping that left knee back. We'll find downward facing dog. Feel your palms, position them, get ready for them, ask them. Tucking the toes, lifting the hips up, downward facing dog. Let's step the feet up toward the top of the mat. Take as many steps as you need. Feel out where you are in your feet. What does balance and equilibrium feel like without our eyes? And we'll bend the knees, sink the butt back, lift the chest up for chair pose. Your feet can be apart, knees apart, or feet together, knees together. Sitting as upright as we can in the chest, sinking down in the hips. Reaching the arms behind our back, finding an interlace. What do we observe in our chest as we breathe? What does the experience of inhaling feel like and look like in the center of our chest? Slowly coming up to standing upright, maybe lifting the chest up for a gentle back bend, heart lift. Practice that, feel that, invite that heart lift. And then we'll come forward. Where have we gained a heightened awareness, a new insight? What does taking our outer vision out of the equation do to our sense of security? Releasing the arms. Now let's bring the hands down to the floor or a block out in front of us, extending the chest forward. How long can you make the chest? Parallel with the floor, kind of shape of a capital L. What are the legs doing? What's the chest doing? Do you know where your weight is in those legs? Are you all the way back in the heels? Are you all the way forward in the toes? Shifting your weight forward and back is a great way for you to start to feel the transition, engage. All right, so now we'll do that Mula Bandha, so that's that sphincter hold. Uddiyana Bandha, and that's tightening around your solar plexus or your diaphragm without sucking the tummy in. So we feel that solid core of muscle engagement in our low abs. Breath. Take your time as you lift the left leg up. Don't worry about how high you lift it, but just straight up and back behind you. Toes aiming to the floor, energy through the left heel. Can you extend your torso forward? Where is the weight in the right foot? What changed? What changed in your breath? What changed in your perception, in your mind? Now, only if you want to play, we'll start to lift the right hand off the earth. Take your time. Maybe bring it back down now and again. You can lift and touch. Lift and touch. Maybe tighten the top of that right thigh to give you a little bit more stability. Maybe you can extend that right arm to the ceiling, twisting the chest open. Maybe not. We're opening ourselves to a new experience, new edge. Remember, new, meaning unfamiliar, something we've not done before. Forgiveness, kindness, ahimsa, breath. And right hand down, love every wobble. Left foot down, forward fold. Feel where you are. Let that moment go. It's gone. How did it inform us in the now? And then just enjoy and be present in this moment. Notice the chatter in your mind. We all have an individual journey here. Half flat back, lengthening the spine forward. Can you extend the breastbone forward more? Check in where the weight distribution is. Where are you in space and time? And when you're ready, we'll lengthen that right heel and leg straight back. Feel the length of that leg. Feel the solid intention of a light ray of energy beaming out of that heel. Beaming out of the front of the chest, both directions, solid line. Stay here and explore. What am I feeling in my left calf, my left shin, the back of my thigh, right side of my belly? Pick different areas. Occupy your body. Occupy your awareness. Notice it changing. If you're wanting to start to explore, just lifting the left hand off the earth and putting it down. Noticing, what's the mind saying? Is it staying present in that left leg? Or is it going, oh crap, oh no, I can't, or yay, I want to try? Where is your mind? Notice where it is. Some of you are exploring twisting, maybe half a twist. Do we always see things in our mind as the completed act? Can our yoga help us appreciate the transitory space, that transience of awareness, of existence? Breathe. We got to accept where we are. We've got to accept the moment that's here. We've got no choice. Be here. Absorb the truth of it. What's difficult, what's easy, what's beautiful, what's sad. Breathe in. Slowly bringing that left hand down. Right leg down. And let's bring the knees down. And invite ourselves into camel. So we'll try to just listen. So we've brought both knees down. Now let's stand up on the knees. So just lift your chest upright. Your hands are just hanging down from the arms. Separate the inner thighs a few inches apart. Maybe bring your hands to your low back. Maybe you need to grab a blanket for under your knees. If you can't be on your knees, don't be on your knees. You could just sit down on your mat. That's where we're going to go next. Apply a little bit of downward pressure on the low back with the hands. And then ask your chest to offer itself upright. Eyes closed, face soft. Do you know what the muscles in your face are doing? What has this experience amplified in your awareness? What has it deadened? What's working super hard? Breath in, breath out. And we'll bring the chest up. Take your time. You can feel your way with your hands on the floor. And make our way to a seated space. Seated space. Maybe cross-legged. Maybe legs out in front of you. Let's take the right arm out to the right, so feel it lengthening out to the right. Ask yourselves, could you lengthen through the shoulder socket? So just moving from the upper part of the upper arm bone, the humerus, and pull that bone out of the shoulder socket. Could you ask your forearm bones to lengthen away from your elbow sockets? Spreading the finger bones wide. Now reach that right arm straight up to the ceiling, palm facing forward. Use the belly muscles to sit up tall, not back, not forward. So the right arm is up. Bend the right elbow, bringing the right hand down behind your back, in between your shoulder blades, or some near proximity of such. Now you have a choice, but first we're going to extend the left arm out, straight out, just like we did with the right. Feel and experience lengthening that left upper arm bone, the humerus, out of the shoulder socket. Feel that in the muscles and the flesh of your armpit. Extending from the forearm away from the elbow. What does extension feel like? Applied attention to extension. And then spreading the fingers wide, expansion in the palms. Reaching that left arm now down. And bend the elbow, flip the palm to the back of the room. Bend the elbow, bringing the hand up toward the mid-back. Now don't worry about the fingertips touching one another. Sitting upright. If they touch easily, great. If they don't, great. Right elbow up, left elbow down. Can you lift from the heart, or we will be so preoccupied with the arms and the hands that we forgot about our heart, offering our heart, no matter how twisted life and circumstances are. What are we feeling? What are we experiencing? Now we're going to mindfully uncoil in reverse. So lengthening that left arm down, extending it back out to the side. Let's hold that there. Lift the right hand up and then extend the right arm out to the side. And then open the arms as wide as we can, as though you could bring the hands together behind you. Feel the front of the chest muscles. Thrust the chest upward and feel your pectoralis muscles, the muscles underneath of your breasts, the muscles underneath of your nipple area. Lift them. Tighten that mula bandha. Squeeze. That sphincter hold. What does contained feel like? Good. Now we're going to keep the left arm extended out. Reach that left hand up toward the ceiling. Feel that reaching. Maybe play from the shoulder socket. We'll eventually bend that left elbow, left hand down in between the shoulders. If you're just joining, we're practicing this practice with our eyes lightly closed if you're comfortable doing so. Right arm is extended out, right palm facing forward. Now flip the palm to the back of the room, starting to bring that right arm down beside the body, snaking that arm behind your back, then bending the elbow, trying to reach that hand up in between the shoulder blades. Honor and respect this side. If you had an ability or range on one side, don't expect the same here. Can you apply lift through the back of the neck, the back of the neck muscles? Find that mula bandha. How engaged does it make us feel? What are we aware of in our intestines, our abdomen, our pelvic floor when we do so? What about the quality of our breath? In reverse again, extending that right arm out to the side. Flip the palm to face the front of the room. Extend the left arm up to the ceiling. Feel that extension coming from the compression. And then extend that left arm out to the side, both arms out wide. Good. So we're going to do the crisscross of the arms for maybe an eagle or a bear hug. Left arm under, right arm over. So maybe just wrapping the arms over one another, creeping the fingertips toward the midline with this nice big hug. Or if it's accessible to you, you'll lift that right forearm up and then the left forearm up, and maybe the fingers clasp somewhere on the hands. Left elbow is under, right elbow is over. growing tall somewhere. Explore it. Pick an area in your rib cage and see, can just that area try to live? What happened to our breath when we tried to initiate that? Can the bandha help you lift? Can you breathe more in the space you're lifting from? Maybe lift the chin up and down. What are we aware of in the neck? Left and right. Occupy this body with our awareness and our intention. Gently releasing the arms will expand the arms open wide once again. Are we extending or are we just holding them here? You're holding yourself accountable to what are you practicing and observing. Is there more expansion and extension possible? How are we perceiving that with the eyes closed? And then we'll switch. Right arm is under, left arm is over. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling these arms in a different way, like some muscles have been working in a different way. I'm going to do the bear hug on this side, not the eagle. Feeling that expansion in between the shoulder blades, pulling both shoulder blades away from one another. Still growing tall from maybe a new area of awareness in the spine. Eagle if you like. So forearms can be lifting up, finding your clasp. Choosing whether you want to work your neck. Are you practicing growing tall in the spine? Are you practicing rooting? What are we practicing? What are we perceiving? What's opening? What's closing? What's true? What's false? And then we'll reach the arms back, open wide, taking our time. With the arms extended outward, lengthen the legs out in front of us. Point and flex the toes, sitting up tall from the lowest part of the belly. Shoulder blades rooting down the back, growing tall through the neck. Exist in all of these energies of the legs pressing down, of the low belly lifting up, of the shoulders rooting down, of the arms expanding out wide. What are we feeling? What are we experiencing? What are we manifesting? And we'll reach the arms upright, shoulders are still down. Where do we have a tendency to reach from? Do we overreach? Do we overextend in our sockets? And then hinge at the hips, letting the upper body come forward. Your knees could soften. Arms rest wherever you like them to. Soften your low back. Go ahead and round the spine. Acceptance. Feel your flesh, your bones, your organs in acceptance. Follow your breath here. Could you lengthen the top of your head toward your big toes? What does that activation and initiation feel like? We'll gradually roll the spine upright, lifting the chest upright. Maybe we experience light differently through our closed eyelids as we lift the head. And maybe use your hands to help you feel your way to lying down on your backs. We'll invite both knees into the chest and go ahead and let your arms, your hands rest on the knees. Maybe lift the head and lengthen it a bit and then place it down, feeling length in your neck, your upper spine. Experience the belly ballooning with breath up against the thighs. And then I'll invite us to rest the arms down alongside the waist, sending the heels straight up to the ceiling. Rest your shoulder blades against the mat. And observe the amount of effort that you have to exert here. What's actually going on and what needs to be going on. I actually just realized, I was tensing my throat. So now I'm relaxing the throat. It's affecting the sound of my voice, but I'm just going to let go with it. Now, if you're comfortable doing so, it's kind of vulnerable. And still with our eyes closed, if you're still with us, opening the legs out wide into the shape of a very wide V. And just see how much they want to let go in this space. What's going on in your back, your belly. Maybe practice your Mula Bandha and release. And just notice what engages, what tightens in your pelvic floor, in your low abdomen. How does that affect the willingness of the thighs to open out wide? Maybe rock the hips a little side to side. And we'll bring the legs back up toward the ceiling, legs together. Bending the knees into the chest. And we'll let the knees fall over to the left into a spinal twist. Maybe the sides of that left thigh will rest on the floor. What does having the eyes closed here open ourselves up to observing? Are we tuning in or are we tuning out? Maybe we're just able to observe how much we actually tune out. And we'll bring the knees up to center. Feel your core, your back muscles, your shoulders, your arm. And then we'll make our way over to the other side. What is actually going on right here? What are we practicing? Contentment, santosha. Self-study, svadhyaya. Discipline, devotion, tapas. Purity, cleanliness, saucha. We'll gradually calm the center. Maybe wrap the arms around the knees and lift the forehead up to the knees, experiencing the body active and folding at the same time. . Gently lowering the head down. Gently lengthening and extending both legs out to a resting space on your mat. Your legs could be straight and lengthened. Maybe you prefer them to be in butterfly with the feet together, whatever feels best for your back. And then once you've settled on your shape, let go. Release muscular action throughout your entire body. Let the breath do what the breath will do. Observe your inward gaze on your inner landscape. And then observe your perception. Have you let the body go? What remains engaged? What does that feel like? What is completely released? As inert as a living matter can be? And what does that feel like? And observe your perceiver perceiving. Introduce simple, soft movements in the fingers and toes. Maybe lightly open the eyelids, feeling the eyes starting to receive shape, color, light, shades of light. And we'll eventually bring ourselves upright to a seated space. Can't take in too much light. I actually have to turn the screen down a bit. And sit in a moment, observing and reflecting on the journey you've gotten to take. Observing and reflecting the current state, the reality in our bodies. What is true? How does it feel? In our breath, and the state of perception in our mind. Hands to the heart center if you wish to join. Single Om, relaxing the throat. And we find the Mula Bandha and the Uddiyana Bandha. So we're tightening around the solar plexus as well as that sphincter hole. Deep breath. The light and love in me is deeply grateful to share light and love with you. Namaste. Thank you for joining today with our home yoga practice live, where we've been practicing saucha, or a cleansing, an elimination. And today we used it with pratyahara and practicing with our eyes closed. Please feel free to share how that went for you. I'll hang out for a little bit. We're a completely donation-based operation, so if you've got anything in your heart or your pocket that you wish to share with us, feel free to make a drop in our PayPal bucket at paypal.me/justbeyoga, or you could just go to justbeyoga.com. What else? Oh, tonight is 7 o'clock, our Yoga 2XL, our curvy yoga class. If you're interested, you need to join our Yoga 2XL curvy yoga group, and you'll get the Zoom link for that. It's the only Zoom link, Zoom class that I teach. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate being able to share practice with you and so many limbs of yoga. Thank you again. Have a wonderful day. Namaste. Oh, hey, Kathy. Hey, Claudia. Yay. Good to see you all. See. Have a good one, you all.